And my daughters would always joke that, like, oh, you don't want to be the next Tory and Bruglio. Tory and Bruglio were the company that was exploiting Mexican labor and bringing them on H-1 visas when they had no business displacing workers here, and they were piling up workers in these apartments, 10, 12 to a room. And if they got injured, they would get deported, and it was a terrible situation. So it was a 10-year campaign to be able to expose all of that and fight that. Not only exposing what NAFTA had done, but also talking to people in the black community about the situation. That was big work. It was really big work.
And you did that with the SEIU.
I did that after SEIU. I worked at SEIU, and I was representing workers in arbitration. And when that issue came up with Tory and Bruglio, and we had to say, no, you cannot do this, I got blacklisted from labor for a time. Because what happened was the union leadership was in on that. So when our employees, our workers, our members got laid off, I got a call from my pastor at Sacred Heart, which is a mostly black Catholic church, and my pastor said to me, we got 7 people in our congregation that got laid off from the city, and SEIU was their union, and we went down there to picket, and there's nobody there. This is my church calling me at work at the union. So I tell him, you have to talk to the person in charge of that, the vice president in charge of that. And they came to me and they said, what are you doing? I said, the pastor wants to know, where's the picket line? And he said, well, we don't have a strike there. So, well, we got members in the congregation that lost their jobs, and there's nobody fighting it. They weren't going to fight it. They made a deal. So I said, you have to fight it. You can't do this. If you don't fight this, we're going to lose everything, because they're going to go after this, and then this work, and then this work, and then this work. So there was an interesting campaign that ensued. My pastor, Norman Thomas, and I and Ignacio went to see the Detroit City Council about why did they give these jobs away? Why did you let Mexican workers who work on these H-1 visas, which is like slave labor, it was guest worker bill, why did you let them do this instead of Detroit residents? And they all got paid. The ones who passed it got paid. They sold out the city, and the union sold out the membership, and they all got paid. Well, once we exposed that, then I was invited to leave. So we just took the show on the road. And when I got laid off from SEIU, one of the things that was really a moment for me, I had been getting increasingly marginalized at the union for taking this up, because I was the only person that could speak Spanish in the whole local. So the Tory and Bruglio people were calling me. Those members were calling me about the situation they were facing. And the black workers, I was translating for them. So I belonged to the congregation where the black workers are losing their jobs, and I belonged to the community where people, it was like, this is really like getting to be like really interwoven, and I was beginning to see it from all these different sides. And I was seeing it, so when I got run out, I had to work, so I got a job in the welfare office.